Okay, it's Rosé all day time. Welcome back, everyone, to the monthly live hangout tasting. Got some Grand Reserve members coming up. It is hot where I'm at. It's like 95 degrees Fahrenheit, so we're probably coming in close to like 30, I think 7-ish Celsius. So I've got a good selection of rosés, including the mother of all rosés, Domaine Tempier from Bandel, probably one of the more prestigious, more expensive rosés. I'm excited to see what some of the Grand Reserve members have. I'll bring a couple on stage here as we come on. I'm sure that more are going to be coming on as we add. Rosé, before I get to Kenny, what you're doing? I know there's some other guys going to be coming on, guys and gals coming on. Rosé is a very misunderstood wine. Actually, technically, it's one of the more difficult wines to make. You can grow grapes specifically for rosé, crush them. They're red wine grapes for the most part. They get a little bit of color, or you can use red wine grapes that you're going to make into red wine and then bleed off some of the juice before fermentation starts, and that's what's called the Saignée method. Concentrates the red wine batch. Also, you get a rosé. I find I like rosés, crushed rosés, rosé wines that are made specifically with grapes that are grown for rosé. Very underrated underrated wine in general. It's more, you can get wines that are more than just poolside sippers, which I have here today. I have 3 serious ones I'm going to be tasting with the group. And I think that something's going to be different. A lot of these lives are members only. I'm going to leave this one up there so people just kind of have an idea of what we're doing here. Oh, I see my boy Marco up there. So let's see what we got here. Kenny, Marco, you guys are the first ones. I think there are going to be some more people. What kind of rosé wines did you bring today for us?
I brought a. I decided to do a rosé champagne that I found. I guess technically, maybe I don't know if we were if we were going to do if this was if we could do rosé champagne, but that's what I went with.
Let me see. Who was the producer? Let me see here.
It's Palmer and Company.
Oh yeah, it's a great cooperative, very affordable.
I got it at
Delicious.
Costco. Yeah.
Oh really?
I had seen it there, and it's I was interested in it because it's a Solera. They do like I
Okay.
guess a Solera on it. So saw it there, and I don't drink a lot of rosé, so decided to go this route.
No biggie. So what we got here for Marco? What do you got here? Are you still concentrating? I see I see you hard at work there. What do you got there?
I have. It's from Lake Garda,
Yeah.
so it's Italy, and
Fantastic
it's from
producer.
Cadefrati. Yeah, they are famous for their Lugana and their, yeah, and this is their pink wine.
So that's like some of the Valpolicella grapes, if I'm guessing, right? Rondinella, Molinata.
It's actually a blend of Gropello, Marzemino, and grapes from Irop. So more from it's a pretty unusual mix. I read it's a bit of Gropello, Marzemino, even a bit of Barbera. Yeah. So it's a weird mix from the Lake Garden.
So I have 3 that I wanted to taste with you guys because I had a bunch handy. So I said let's taste them. First is the Masseria. Well, I'm pronouncing it right, Marco? Masseria Livelli. This is the Susumaniello from Salento and Puglia 2024. Susumaniello is kind of a hot grape in the Somme world right now. Makes real interesting red wines. Can make sparkling wines too. When I'm in Puglia, I taste a lot of sparkling wines. I also have the famous Fiudi de San Gregorio San Greg, made out of Alianico 2024. Fiudi de San Gregorio is one of the benchmark producers of Torossi. So I like Alianico. It's a high acid grape as a rosé, although producers say, you have to be careful. And then we have the Mecca, Marco, like this one. We have the Domaine Tempier Bandel 2024, one of the iconic rosés, maybe one of the iconic wines in the world, imported to the U.S. by Kermit Lynch. This is Bandel in the south of France in Provence. This, if I remember, is probably 100% more Vedra, although there might be some Grenache, maybe some Syrah and so. But I think if my memory serves me right, 100% Mourvedre. How about we taste some wines, guys? What? First of all, tell me, you two got a small group here. I think some other people are going to be on the call. But why do you two like rosé? Tell me that much. Or if you do, maybe you don't drink it normally. I don't know.
I don't drink a lot of rosé. I guess it's probably one of the wines that I drink the least of. I guess I haven't, at least so far, I haven't found a lot that I really like. I really love. I mean, it's not that I hate them. I just don't like them. I don't like rosé as much as traditional whites and reds. So, but I drink it on occasion. So,
is there a reason why you don't like it? We're gonna try to bust the myth today that rosés are not in a complex wine, or it's all that kind of stuff. I think rosé can be ridiculous complex. Some of it can age. I think it's very food friendly. Can you kind of elaborate on this? I'd like to. What's the next group, Sarah? So let's have a conversation about this.
I don't know. I mean, I won't say I've drank a lot of it. I mean, I've tried some various ones. I mean, I've had the Muga rosé. I've had I did recently have the Ferrari Trento Doc rosé sparkling. I don't know. It's just I guess it doesn't have like the just the ones I've had, I guess, don't seem to have the depth of some of the red wines that I like, and then it doesn't have quite, I don't know, quite the flavor profile that I like from white wines. So I haven't really found any rosés that I'm just like crazy about that I want to drink this wine. I want to go out and buy this particular rosé. Maybe I just haven't had the right ones.
What about you, Marco? Why do you?
Yeah, I kind of agree. I mean, rosé is not a go-to wine for me. It's a question of habit, I think, more than anything else. But I mean, I most of the rosé that I drank, to be honest, I did it for educational purposes. To pass my exams or to just because I have to taste a lot of wine, and so for me, it's mostly like a category that I need to know. Again, for my exam, more than a category I naturally go to. But it's often a wine that you expect to be in the middle between, of course, white and red. But for me, often doesn't deliver the interesting profiles, aromas of the whites, especially the aged whites, and doesn't deliver the complexity and the depth of the reds. So in theory, it should bring the best of both and find like a golden middle. But most of the time, for me, it doesn't achieve anything. And so it's when it does, it's exceptional. But I haven't found many bottles that actually do it, except maybe the Bandol and a few other more complex rosés. But then again, if there's only a few very complex and worthwhile rosé, then you always go back to the same few bottles, and then sort of, okay, it's over. I want to taste something else. There are infinite numbers of whites, infinite number of reds, but only a handful of really great rosés. So yeah, feels like, okay, I know what it is, but probably if I go to a new rosé that I haven't tasted, it's unlikely to be as great as one of the great rosés, and it's probably not as good as a good white or a good red. So that's why sometimes I'm skeptical. Sometimes I go to a restaurant, somebody recommends the rosé with wine pairing and goes fantastic, but it's not a wine that I would have a full bottle of.
Alex, what do you got? And what do you like rosé?
Hi guys. What I got, it was hard to pick up. I usually want to pick up the Turle, but in the end of the day, today a hot day, and I want to, so I switched in the last minute to, from the Provence.
Okay. How much is that bottle?
16.
Oh, very affordable. Do you drink rosé? Are you anti-rosé?
I have rarely, not like maybe 5% or something. But I like to drink in the holiday or something in the summertime, like 4 or 5 p.m. Before the evening starts, and then to cool down or something, and I like to enjoy the rosé, but I'm not that. I don't know. This seems to be a little like salty in complex. Let's see. But I enjoy more the white or reds.
All right, so that's what we got. We got all kind of in a similar boat. Let's, Kenny, how's your? You got champagne. You got the most complex one. Although I like white. I like white champagne more than rosé personally. But go ahead. What?
Yeah, this is nice. This is I would say this is the best.
Hallelujah! You're not disappointed. You're not disappointed with the wine.
This is the best. I think this is the best rosé wine I've ever had. I mean, it's pretty. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty. It's got the champagne personality, the yeasty kind of brioche type notes, and it's got the kind of rosé flavor profile, and it's pretty nice.
Let's. How much was that price?
I got it
that price? What's the price of the bottle? I'm sorry.
I got it at Costco for $59.99.
Okay, rosé champagne warrants a premium. It's so funny. The first champagne was actually pink. It was rosé champagne. The monks didn't know how to separate the skins from the juice.
I have a question for you. Why are rosé champagnes always? They seem to get a premium.
They are always about
lower?
20. There are 20-25%. It doesn't make sense to me because champagne it's about 66-70% red grapes. Actually, there's a lot more red grapes than there are white grapes. Rosé is a difficult wine to make because you got to be careful with oxidation and color. But I still have not gotten a very good answer. I've asked that, Kenny, a lot, and I still have not gotten a very good answer. Maybe supply and demand.
I didn't know if it was like because they made it in less quantity, so that's why the price was higher, or if it was more difficult to make, or why it's a premium.
I have no idea. I still haven't figured that out. Let's go to we'll go back to you. Let's go to Marco and Alex, how their wines come along. I saw Chris was on the call. Chris, you can come on. By the way, I'm wearing a t-shirt, not a sponsored. Just I love this t-shirt. Vineyard. I went to a tasting at Vineyard Brands in New York City, and this is like my chilling t-shirt. And I was running around, didn't have time to change, but it is a great importer. They bring in Ponceau, Salon, some good stuff, some really good stuff. Marco, how's yours coming along?
It's a pretty wine. It's a very pretty wine.
Show me that again. Show me the bottle again. You have to show me. Yep. And not expensive, right? I'm guessing.
This is about probably 19 euros.
Okay. Oh, actually, that's a lot in Italy for a rosé.
Yeah.
It's not.
I mean,
cheap.
it's the not the most expensive bottle I could find in the shop, but it's definitely one of the top shelf for rosés.
Yeah.
And here we have a good selection of mostly rosés from Sicily.
Yeah.
So from Nerello Mascalese of the Donna Fugatas, which are a bit more of a mix, which I tried. But I have never tried this one, so that's why I chose. I know the Lugana, which I love it, but I that was new for me. But it's pretty light color. The aroma is quite intense, and it's good. It's not like a bland wine. It's actually pretty intense, and has plenty of interesting stuff. Generally like the wild strawberries, all this, pretty red fruits, and it's it's tasty. It's not diluted as some of the Provence rosé. This is quite tasty and flavorful. Maybe it's a bit low on acidity, so it's not It's okay for aperitif for something like light, but yeah, I think it lacks a bit of the kick. It's still probably medium acidity, but it's not like a wine that you remember as. And the finish is pretty okay, clean. Again, I would say it's a typical rosé wine that is well made, very very enjoyable, but will I remember it tomorrow? I'm not sure.
I'm feeling like you're looking for words to justify it being good. It's just like it's okay.
It's nice, but yeah. Again, I cannot help but thinking, okay, if it was white, it would have a little bit more acidity, and it would make it really more, really fresher, a little more enjoyable, and so yeah, and it's also 2022, so
It's got some
probably
age.
it's like probably shouldn't be aged, so it's probably already on the way down. So yeah, a few things. It's a decent wine, pretty wine. Probably 2023 or 24 would be better, but it's the last bottle they had. And again, it's also a problem with rosé wines. Most rosé wines I had a bit of light strike, so a bit of odd flavors. They keep the bottles on the under the light on the on the shelf, and it spoils very easily.
I'm gonna before we go to Alex, because I have three. I do want to show. So I do have one buddy, Deborah asked where my favorite region for rosé is. I actually like the darker Negro Amaro Rosatos in Puglia. But those wines, the Chiaroscuolos, these darker rosés, they don't sell. This is from Puglia, Susumagnello. Again, trendy grape in the Somme world right now at the moment. This is not cheap. This is from the US, it's $25. So it's not, for a rosé wine, it's not. This is one of their more premiums. They make also a Primitivo and a Negro Amaro, but this is made in a more Provençal style, so a little bit lighter. I have to say, when producers make more serious rosé, I think they're actually quite beautiful. For me, a lot of rose petal, a lot of lemon peel, mineral flavors, strawberry. It doesn't have what a lot of times when I think of Provençal, I think of strawberry, watermelon, and Flint. That's what I think of on purpose. I don't get their watermelon here, but it's nice. It's got a little bit of peppery. It's got a kind of a peppery note. Rosé, since they are fresh wines, you get that bubble gumness, stuff that you get from Bojo Novo. Now, got a lot of weight on the. This is more of a not like just water. You guys know how sometimes these rosés can be watery, right? They can just be like tap water. This is not. It's got some weight to it. It's not piercingly sour. It doesn't have high acidity. Quite soft in the mouth. Marco said, "Is it groundbreaking wine? No. Is it complex rosé? Yes, it is. I think it's just pretty damn enjoyable. It's not like I said, Marco, it's not the greatest wine in the world, but I would this is something I would bring for all of us when we have to bring rosés to parties. You bring the simple stuff that are fun for everybody. This is probably something that we would want to drink like us. Got a little more complexity to it. Alex, you got the region for rosé, Provence. What's it looking like?
Yeah. Indeed, this is a cuvée. There are 4 grape varieties. I think the first one, is the Grenache Noir. Mm-hmm. And in the end of the day is the Cabernet Sauvignon included, and one I even. Okay. It smells typically like a rosé, like from the Anjou, similar. Anjou, by the way, have great off-dry rosé. I very much enjoy it. This is like a peach, like pink grapefruit, strawberry, and if you drink, it's little crispy, clear, balanced. Just for a good afternoon. Should I? I don't know. Recommend or tomorrow? I wouldn't think, hey, that was a great wine yesterday. Probably not, but on a hot summer day, I think it's perfect. And the most rosé I enjoy, it's from the Champagne.
Oh, champagne rosé like Kenny
Yeah.
has. Marco, I muted you for a second because there was some like weird watery reverb. I'll bring you back on when we can talk for a second. Chris does not have a rosé, but
Yeah,
he's a great
I
rosé
think I'm
drinker.
the one that suggested it. So
What's that?
yeah,
Yeah, you were the one that's like, I think you were, yeah, the one that
I
suggested.
had, yeah, so I forgot. I was.
That's okay. Do you like rosé?
I'm gonna say like a lot of people when it comes to like sparkling wine, rosé is good. Like champagne. I'm not typically one to drink rosé because like usually number one where I live, it's like a lot of what's for sale is the Provence style. That's like that pale pink, like too like light fruity, like not really much character. Like,
Well, let's go back up and down the line because Kenny's. I can see him having a ball over there, and he's finally enjoying a wine that we're having on a call. I see you even helped yourself to a second glass there. Why do you like? It's so fun because I prefer white champagnes. I don't prefer rosés.
Yeah, no, I prefer my Blanc de Blanc's my favorite style of champagne, but yeah, this is pretty good. I mean, it's got a lot of Blanc de Blanc kind of somewhat personality with that rosé edge to it. It's pretty good.
Oh, so what is it well worth the price, that premium, or would you rather just still stick to the white champagne?
I'd probably rather I'd still probably go for a Blanc de Blanc because that's like my favorite style of champagne. But I mean, for the price and what rosés like are priced with as far as in the market, I mean, I think this is pretty good. It's a really good champagne, I think.
I'll open up the panel. Like Marco, Alex, Chris, you can add to this. Are you guys rosé champagne guys, or are you sticking more to traditional cuvées or blanc de blanc or blanc de noir?
I'm a rosé. I mean, like it depends, but mostly it's Blanc de Noir. I mean, I think one I had in Champagne, can't remember the name of the place we visited. It was 2 years ago, and it was like this little small house that like they did all their stuff. It was like, and they had fantastic one, and then I don't know if I've had it, but I think the Alfred Gautier.
Okay.
If you know that one, that may be good.
Type it in the chat. Type it in the chat to see if we can. What about Alex and Marco? Are you guys more for white sparklers, or are you guys okay with rosés?
For myself, more whites. But hey, if you give me one N class, high class champagne, the color that doesn't matter, you know.
If I give you a Comte de Rosé, if I give you a Comte de Rosé, then you're all good.
Yeah, that's all fine.
Marco, what about you?
Yes. No, as Kenny mentioned, I cannot really justify the difference in price, to be honest. So, like paying 20% more just because of the color. Of course, it's not just the color; it also has a different flavor profile. But generally, what I like in champagne is the super acidity, is the super freshness, is the super complexity and stone minerality. And sometimes I feel that rosé diminishes a bit that profile, or just makes it yes, more gastronomic, but less, let's call it, pure. And so yeah, and also of course, rosé champagne is made by assemblage, by two blends of red and red wines. Well, I generally prefer the rosés that are made by direct pressing. So there's a
Yep.
little bit the texture of the tannins as well in the rosé. So if I have to choose a rosé, I normally go for a darker type of rosé where I can feel a bit of the grip of the red grapes. Or some they use short maceration, some they use direct pressing, but still there is some tannin. And again, for me, it's like if I want something in between red and white, I generally go for orange, which is the key option, right? But yes, so if I want something in between, I generally get the orange wine and not the rosé. So it's also another layer of, in my branch. Okay, I go for red, I go for white. Something in the middle, then okay, orange. Oh no, if I don't find any orange wines in the wine list in the restaurant, then I may go for a
Yeah,
rosé.
poor Rosé. Oh, poor. Well, I
It's
have.
like pretty low in the
Well, I got a second one. I'm gonna before I get to the tempeh, which I'm excited because I haven't had tempeh in a long. I don't even remember what it tastes like. I've got San Gregorio. Mark will be happy. Chris will be happy. Italian wine
Yeah.
guy. Kenny. Tenuta. Fiori di San Gregorio, right? Kenny.
I've heard of it. Yeah, I've heard of the producer.
Okay, they're famous for Torrasi. This is Alianico 2024. Alianico is high acid grape variety, high tannins. A lot of producers say you got to be really careful because the acidity is ridiculously high. Going back to your point, Marco, what you said, I like direct pressing. A lot of producers I know, especially in the exotic countries, like more like the non-traditional, like more Eastern Europe, but they're good winemakers. They told me when they go to new countries, they always want to taste the rosé because that tells them how good the winemaker is. And I think that's a very, very, very valid statement. Let's see. Now this is a rosé. Okay, I'm gonna stand up a little bit here. Now, Alianico makes rosé from Campania, the south of Italy. You don't see a lot of them out there. Hopefully let's do more. But I really like them because it's not just strawberry watermelon. All those Provençal rosés, Alex knows, right? Like yours is probably strawberry and watermelon, right? I'm guessing.
Yeah, or white peach or something. Yeah.
This is like sour cherry, like maybe like goju berry type flavor. Goju berries are Chinese, so sometimes maybe people haven't tasted them. Maybe like even a cherry, and it's got like a smokiness to it. These are subtle things. It still smells like rosé. This one's nice because it's kind of in between a rosato and a rosé. It's not super, super, super dark, but it's not super light.
Okay,
What's that?
one question. So apparently, like, there's that. Have you ever had the Lopez hair
The Heredia, yeah.
from during their rosé?
Yeah.
Supposedly, that's supposed to be a good one because I think they oak age it.
It is barrel aged. You definitely can get the oak. It's surprisingly fresh for that style because their wines are generally a little bit more oxidized. It is a moving wine, I have to tell you. It's probably one of the best rosés I've ever had. We'll see how this Tempeh is. We'll see how this is. It's $25 and not cheap either. Okay, this has got substance. It's got some weight to it. It's got a lot of acidity, so it washes the palate clean. From the nose, if I was going to be honest, I wanted a little bit more complexity on the back end. But it does have a lot of weight with the strawberry. Not strawberry, sorry, the more cherry that I told you about, the sour cherry type flavors. And it doesn't have tannin. Sometimes I've tasted some Alianico rosés where producers weren't careful and you get some tannin. Again, another rosé for us. We're going to a barbecue. Alex is probably bringing a bunch of those rosés he got from Provence, and then maybe a different rosé for a couple of other people. That's what this is. That's what this is more aligned with. I know. How are your guys' wines coming on? Well, Kenny loved his wine. How's Marco, Alex, when Chris's fake wine? How are your guys' wines coming along?
Not too bad. It's actually it develops quite nicely on the glass. Has a, I don't know if you ever smelled like railway track. The smell of hot iron. So like like a real rust. So it has this sort of ironies, bit of bloody aftertaste, especially in the empty glass. So it has some complexity. It's probably because, again, the grapes are a bit unusual. Some rustic grapes, Marzemino, Groppello, and Barbera too, they're pretty rustic. So I would expect them to be a bit earthy, and it's showing. So which is nice because, again, in a rosé you still want to taste some of the grapes, right? So
Yeah.
It's okay. It's developing nicely in the glass, and the problem is that you want it very cold. You want it really like ice cold. This one, and sitting here and outside, I don't have an ice bucket with me now, so it's warming up. So I get these new flavors that are nice, but the wine is getting less nice to drink. So it's interesting to analyze, but less nice, less enjoyable to drink because it's getting warm at room temperature. And of course, rosé room temperature is not great. So yeah, it's interesting as an experiment, but probably I would put the bottle back into the ice bucket now.
Alex, what about yours? I like how Marco, when you're describing ones, you don't sugarcoat anything. I like it pretty blunt. Alex, how's your rosé coming along?
Yeah, it's still refreshing. It's now the heat's come a little up. You can see it on the bottle, and it's in the end pretty like grapefruit, lemony, and a little herbs. And I like it. It's okay.
So you are going to tell your friends tomorrow that you drank a great wine?
Probably not.
I have to say this actually one is actually warming up on me. I think I was a little bit hard on the palate. I just had the second sip. That's the thing with really high acid wines. For me, at least, the perception of them, sometimes they need some time to settle in before the palate kind of sinks into the acidity. I don't know if you guys agree with that as well. I do enjoy it. Not the most complex rosé, not the most complex wine in the world, but super enjoyable. I think Kenny's got us all beat in terms of complexity. I mean that rosé, I've had it before in the past. It's a cooperative champagne. Do champagne at pretty good prices. I'm guessing it's pretty complex. You probably finished off the bottle already because it's champagne.
No, but I do like it. This is nice. I mean, I would recommend it at this price point. I think I think this can stand up to some pretty good Blanc de Blanc champagnes. I mean, it's pretty good.
I think I like what you guys are doing because you guys are brutally honest. Like I said, I try to be as honest as possible in videos as well, but it's nice because you guys, picking up the wine when we're doing these calls, you say like, oh, I'm going to recommend this. I think it's good. Or you know what? I don't think it's that great. And that's high praise from Kenny because he's always disappointed. I told him before you guys all got on, he was the only one that he's often the one that's excited to open a bottle and you can see it in his face. He's like, it's just kind of okay. Chris, to get to your point, yes, Lopez de Heredia, the rosé is outstanding. Although the last time I had it, it wasn't the best tasting. It's actually in a video. I did a vlog about natural wines of Catalonia, and we were up at a producer's place, kind of having like this big hedonistic cookout with a bunch of food and wine, and we were just popping bottles, boom, 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 and we tasted, and it stood out. We were drinking, we weren't tasting, and it stood out. So I think it's good. It's just hard to get, right? I don't. It's like Tempier. It's like this Tempier. It's pretty impossible. So I'll leave it to the group before I open this. How many people have had Tempier? Like the iconic. I looked up the Cepage. I was wrong. It's 50% Mourvedre, and the rest is Grenache and Cinsault. Who here? I know Marco's probably had this. Anybody else? Alex, Kenny, Chris, have you had this? You've heard of this? I'm guessing you've heard of it, right?
I have not.
I can't remember.
Well, it's not. It's one of the more hard to get to allocated rosés in the market. I mean, this bottle in the U.S. is $55 for a rosé, and this is not a sample. $55 US dollars, and this is not a sample. I went out and purchased this wine because the shop that I work at we have a small allocation, and I said, we're doing this rosé call, so why not? Marco, what was your impression of it when you and I'm also funny. I actually picked up a closing shift today because I've been traveling so much and I felt bad and they needed help. So that's why I'm not drinking a ton. Unfortunately, I got to go in right after the call. But I told them that we're doing this call, so I can't go in until we're done. Marco, what did you think about when you had the Tempier?
Yes, that was a serious wine. Of all places, I was in a restaurant in Japan, so it's not, yeah. So it was a pairing. So they opened a bottle of Rosé Tempier, which was like a pretty big move for a wine pairing. And yes, I remember a lot of definition in the flavors, which it's what really for me makes a great wine. You can really, it's like in music, you can hear the orchestra playing every single instrument. It's not like a wall of sound. You can hear every single instrument, and that wine was very, very sharp. The tasters were not were crisp. And so sometimes you taste the rosé, yes, that has this sort of flavor. You can get a bit of red fruit, a bit of citrus fruit. You cannot really name them, but that one, it's a walk in the garden. You can, you can say this and this and that, and they come one at a time. And then remember the rhythm of these flavors coming at you as the best thing, not like a cacophonic noise, but literally coming one after the other in a good progression and sequence and rhythm. And that was for me like a sign of an excellent wine.
Well, I'm letting you cook here because the way that you described that was beautiful. That was I need to be able to describe wines that well. Alex, if you could find, I bet you in Europe and Germany they'll probably have it for sure. I'm guessing it's probably going to be like 35 euros, maybe a little bit more. But it's not the price; it's allocate. It's like, can you find it? That's the difficulty thing. Can you get it? Well, I have not had this rosé while I've been in the wine professionally. The last time I had it was when I was just. I hate to say not just when I was a consumer. So let's give this a go. And I think it was a long night, so nothing stood out really. So on the nose, it actually smells a little bit Sauvignon Blanc-y at first. You get some grassiness, which I'm surprised from a Southern France rosé. Marco is definitely right. What's different about the other rosés, which were good, and I would actually, in a rosé scoring system, I would probably score those other ones pretty high, like 88, 89-ish. This definitely, the flavors are lifted. So, Marco, you hit the nail on the head. I can definitely pick out the watermelon jumps out, the Provençal herbs jump out, the thyme jumps out, orange peel jumps out, strawberry. You're right, Mark. I mean, maybe not tonight because I'm working late, but maybe tomorrow. I'm awful. I'm doing some of my edits. Maybe we'll have to pop this open because it's going to be hot tomorrow too. This is a Flinty. This is quite serious. Chris, I saw you said it's for sale near you. Maybe it is worth picking up because I'm really enjoying the smell.
Yeah.
Alex, if you had this, you would be telling your friends tomorrow you had a great wine.
Okay.
Let's just put it that way. It's pretty weighty for a fresh-looking rosé. As you can see, it's pretty clear. Definitely has a lot of weight, but there's just a lot of little subtleties along with the fruit. The mineral notes come through. Now, I know 24, if I remember, was pretty tough throughout Europe. I know it's disastrous in some areas. I do want a little bit more length on the back end, but this is pretty serious stuff. And like Marco said, this was sashimi would kill. Now, I'm letting everybody know. So, me personally, I think it's worth it to try it once because I think it's always important to try the benchmarks when it comes to wine. Tempier, Lopez de Heredia, those are some of the benchmarks of rosé. Would I buy this regularly and drink it? No, I wouldn't. I would probably spend $55 get nice white Burgundy that's ready to drink at 40, or less if you're in Europe, like or if Marco's on auction sites, you can get, much more complex, affordable wines. But for the one time of it, to taste something that's a benchmark, because we can't always taste the benchmark champagne. Not a lot of people can taste the benchmark champagnes, Burgundies, red wines, white wines. But I think orange wine and like this rosé, it's great because you spend $50-$60, you can taste the best. Okay, that's my little rant. I don't know anybody. With my
And
little...
if you cannot find the Tempier, it's still the Pibarnon or the.
Oh yeah,
it's still good, and it's probably half the price.
Mm.
Or Trevallon as well, where it's not Bandol, but it's still Provence. But yeah, there are some good alternatives too. And I was in Provence like a few weeks ago.
Mhm.
I had few rosés, and they were like, just average, not in any specific appellation. They were like Côte du Var and like a smaller local appellations, but they are quite, they go very well with when you're in Provence, and they're made, some of them, the ones that I prefer, are made of the grape Tiburon, which in Italy we call it Rosé, but in France they call it Tiburon, and it's a big part with Rolle, which is Vermentino in Italy.
Yeah.
So it's like, I thought they were Italian wines, then I found out that they were more French than Italian. But Tiburon and Rolle, and it's Rosés and Vermentino, they make a great blend.
That's nice to hear. Now, Chris, are you any more convinced to try the Tempier now? You said it's near you. Are you more convinced or not convinced?
Yeah. There's no. I'm like, sounds like it'd be really good.
It's so, I have to go to the shop. That's why I'm not drinking, but I think I'm going to have a little bit more. That says something about the Tempier. And just one little squirt here. Not too much.
I think, is this your bottle?
Yep.
Yeah.
Tempier, yep. That's it.
Okay. So
Your copies have it?
The local shop, they have it. At the moment, it's like 34 euro.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
I will put it on
This,
on my book list.
Marco, I cannot imagine. Well, I'm smelling this right now. I want some yellowfin tuna. Like, I want some sashimi, just a touch of wasabi. When I lived in Southeast Asia for 5-6 years, especially Singapore, heavy Chinese influence, people still want to drink red reds. But it was so hot and humid all the time. I'm like, why aren't we drinking whites or rosés, especially with the spicy food? This would just be so perfect with like Japanese food, especially with the delineated flavors. But I want some Asian food actually right now. I came back from China 2 weeks ago, and the northern China near Mongolia, and I could definitely take this down. I don't know, Kenny. I don't know. Are you convinced? I'm not. Like I said, I bought this one. Isn't that a sample? No, I'm not. I don't care. Anyone would buy it. Are you now convinced you want to try it?
I would like to try it. I won't be able to find it around where I live. The wine selection around where I live is not good.
But Kermit Lynch ships.
Yeah, but I don't know if I want to ship it where I live this time of year.
Yeah. You're in Austin, or where are you in Texas?
No, I'm in Brownsville. I'm way down at the Gulf. I'm like almost in Mexico. So
you're like, it's like hot and humid.
It's like 90 degrees, like 9 months of the year here.
Oh, okay, yeah. This is nice. I have to admit, this is very, very, very nice. Chris, you don't have anything. You didn't have rosé, but you don't have anything available to you right now.
I mean, I could. I mean,
no, you don't have to. I'm not forcing you to. I'm not forcing you to drink. I was just asking. We got to give him some slack or some criticism, since it was his idea to do rosé. He doesn't have it in a bottle.
Well, I'll give him credit, because I'm enjoying this wine. This is the best rosé rosé wine I've ever had.
Now, like It's champagne too. So are you gonna be able to polish
Yeah.
the bottle off with like another hour in another hour?
Oh, at some point this evening, it'll be finished.
Alex, and yours, like it's a you have this kind of a easygoing Provençal rosé. What are you gonna have? What are you pairing with that? Are you breaking out the cheese board? Your comment was funny on my cheese board photo when I posted. That was funny.
Yeah, you can post it. I would recommend some maybe shrimps, grilled shrimps, or on the Portuguese style with the garlic.
Yes.
I think it's fair, or scallops, something like that. Yeah.
I want to. It's hot out where I am too. I'm actually my studio's in the basement here, but man, I'd love to be outside right now. Yeah, even if it's hot, exactly what you're saying with a
You
plancha,
wouldn't.
like in the south of Spain. Doing some shrimp, some seafood, or like a big paella. I don't care if it's super hot.
Tapas.
Yeah, I'm in the mood for. Chris is in Florida. We're all in hot. Well, Germany must be a little. Well, Marco's obviously hot all the time in Malta.
Yeah, we have plenty of red shrimps here, like the Mazzara red, small, sweet shrimps. These are fantastic. And then we have fresh tuna now. It's a season of fresh tuna. So actually, Malta is one of the biggest producers of tuna, and they sell it to Japan. So the tuna that you buy in Japan sometimes is from Malta.
Yeah,
So
I mean
generally,
they pay six
Yeah.
figures for a tuna.
yeah. So this is the season for tuna tartare and red prawns, just with a bit of oil and lemon. So that's what I would pair it with.
Are the producers doing halfway decent rosé in Malta?
No, it's too hot, I think. There are some, but generally the climate is too hot to retain a bit of the acidity. So they do okay with the reds. The whites are generally a bit flabby, but at least they use some grapes that they can manage a bit. There are a couple of local grapes that are pretty obscure, and then the rosés they generally. Yeah, they're generally not recommended in my opinion. They are just, yeah.
Alex, what about? So first of all, Alex is from a country that actually does have one of my favorite rosés, but I don't bring it up because it's not. First of all, no producers make it anymore, and it's not going to be commercially available. Rositza, in the south of Serbia. I love those darker rosés. There's not very many producers making them anymore commercially. It's mostly for local consumption. But what do you think about the state of German rosé? Because I have a hot take. But what are you seeing? You live in Germany, and you're not drinking rosé a ton. But what are you seeing for rosé in Germany?
In Germany, it's. I think the wineries they offer rosés to have the all set. White, red, rosé. And usually the rosé is like entry level. It's the Gutswein quality. So you get them for some couple of euro. You get the rosé, easy drinking, not so complex, and probably therefore not so many people order or enjoy it because it's just entry level. I don't know. I have one producer who sell like high-end, high-class rosé in Germany.
I've never tasted
maybe Raumland or something. They have the
rosé sparkling.
Rosé, that's another story, but in general,
for still rosés, I have not had a memorable one in Germany. To be honest, I love German wines to death. German wines to death. I've never had a still. So you guys, what's the most memorable rosé wine that you've had? We can go up and down the panel here. What's the most memorable rosé that you've ever drank? Maybe Kenny's right now.
Yeah, right
The
now,
one with
sure.
at the moment.
Seriously, so Kenny, that's
for sure. This I really like this. I really like this wine. It's very good. Like I said, it's got that Blanc de Blanc kind of not exactly Blanc de Blanc acidity, but it's somewhat close. It's got the brioche. You've got a little bit of that red grape, Pinot Noir, Meunier kind of accent to it. It's very nice.
And Marco, you said this is it.
Yeah, that's it.
What vintage did you have? Do you remember, or how long ago was it?
Ooh, good question. No, I think it was 2023, probably. Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
to tell you right now, I poured a second glass, and I'm kind of regretting that I have to told them that I would pick up a shift today in the shop because this is drinking like juice, and I just
Yeah.
want to go cook something and drink the whole bottle. But luckily tomorrow, well, I got a lot of work to do tomorrow for the YouTube channel, but tomorrow night I think I'm gonna cook something up. Maybe I get a poke bowl and just I think I'm gonna demolish this bottle.
Do you guys keep the rosé in an ice bucket or something, or just
Yeah.
out from the fridge and then just let to in a room?
I have to be honest. This is like I like actually complex whites. I like drinking a little bit warmer, not ice cold. I'm saying cool, but not ice cold. And I would actually probably like that. This has been I've had it in the fridge since last night to get all these to prepare. I would probably drink this a little bit warmer. Not warm. Like I would let it.
Like 8 or 10 degrees.
Yeah,
something.
probably something like that. Not something super freezing. Maybe even a little bit warmer, to be honest, because I want some of the complexities come out. I have to say, maybe it's the label too, because the label plays a role in. But I'm really enjoying this. Really enjoying this. Chris, what's first? Alex, we'll go. Alex, Chris, what are the most memorable rosés that you've had?
I think it was a champagne. And maybe because it was like on my birthday, and it was, and we went to Austria, and then we have one, I think, from Moët Imperial Rosé Champagne.
Let me check.
Yeah. Chris, the answer is that it does. The shop does ship because there actually is a location in Florida randomly. There's 4 in Michigan, 1 in Florida, but I would say just you could track down Tempe. Just get it at your local shop. What's your most memorable rosé that you've had?
There's probably like standard is like Bill Cart Samoye. I mean, Bill Cart was that like in our family. That's kind of our like house champagne. Like, if we're going out and they're like, "Oh, you have Bill Cart Samoye," it's like the one we get because we.
Your family. So your family all drinks wine? That's like a rarity. Usually, us wine geeks we're kind of lonesome.
Yeah. They do things probably impartially because my parents got into like Napa wines because they were invited to do the Vita V, if you know what that is.
Yeah.
So, and they started liking that, and then it also helped that I was, COVID. You had your hobby, and wine became mine. So that also might have.
Not a bad hobby to have. Well, okay, so you guys, let's talk. Well, all of us here, like you guys were all talking about, you don't drink rosé as much. It's kind of like a 4th choice, but it is the summer and it is hot. So what are we all actually drinking? Or because maybe we're in aircon, so you can drink red. It does like when I was in Singapore, living in Singapore, it was freezing cold all the time because I was in aircon. So drinking red was not a problem. I mean, what are we drinking during the summer months? We'll go up and down the panel.
I don't really let the weather dictate what I drink. I mean, I pretty much drink. I drink whatever I pull out of my wine fridge or what I'm in the mood for. I mean, I guess if I'm outside or something, then yeah. But most of the time, if I'm drinking wine, I'm usually inside of my house, so I'll just pull whatever.
So it doesn't matter. You're just going to drink what you want to drink.
Yeah.
Marco, what do you're hot all the time. So I mean, aside for a few months, what's during these summer months, are you still just drinking what you want to drink?
Yeah, I try to keep drinking all sorts of wine, but of course when it's so hot outside, I think summer is the best time for Riesling. I mean, every day is the best day for Riesling. But I mean, if you don't drink your Riesling in summer, then I think you buy it for nothing. So generally lower alcohol Riesling for me in summer. It's the best. Even the curse the world, Prosecco comes to mind.
Nice.
Because why not? Again, if you want some Prosecco, is the right. I mean, you want to have it in summer, and yeah. So if I'm having like a dinner outside or it's just really too hot, these are the two wines. More seriously, Riesling, easygoing, a good Prosecco, not the cheap
A
shelf, but
A Col de
good
Fondo. How about a Col de Fondo?
Col Fondo, yes, could be Raccartizze, but a good solid Prosecco or yeah, these are the summer wines here, and but again, I drink plenty of red wine as well. It's we live in under AC as well, pretty much.
Yeah. Alex, what about you? For yeah, and everybody in the crowd too. Yeah, drop it in the comments what you're drinking during the summer if it's not rosé. Alex, what about yourself?
Yeah, so it's a really hot weather, and besides champagne or Riesling, that's of course. I enjoy Chablis. This is like on the first place somehow, and maybe some Sauvignon Blanc, Gruda Ventina, or Vino Verde, something like.
Oh, good call. Oh yeah, with just a little bit of spritz.
Mhm.
I like that. Chris, what about you? What's the go-to summer wine?
I don't really like Kenny said, I don't let the weather dictate, but I mean lately it's been like I drink a lot of like I just had some Prosecco and that's what I go to, and more recently now like I've become more of a fan of sherry. So I think which can be, even though it's a lot higher alcohol, but compared to non-fortified, it can still be pretty good in the summer.
I am so shocked that nobody has called out my favorite summer wine here. And I'm not ashamed to admit that I love this wine. I think it's a very underrated wine in style. Marco, you'll know it very well. I am a huge fan of Moscato d'Asti. I think Moscato d'Asti is well made. It's sweet. It's floral. You got nice fine bubbles. You're shaking your head. You're saying no. You don't like it.
As an Italian, you have Moscato d'Asti with panettone. So that's Christmas. So Moscato d'Asti for me is Christmas and family, and so it's panettone. Summer, not so much, because you need some sweet with Moscato. You want some patisserie. Sometimes it's too much sugar, So I love Moscato, but I generally keep it for my panettone.
Anybody else like me say? Oh, you knew I would say that, Kenny. Why do you say that?
I've heard you say that like it's such an underrated wine and it gets like bad mouth. So I need I had a feeling you were gonna say that. I don't drink it very often. It's good.
It's
if you get a really good producer, yeah. The Vietti Moscato, I recommend that to like people that are not really wine geeks and like they
it's
drink that and they've been
drinking. It's $17.
You can get it here at like Total Wine for like $12.99. It's incredible, and I recommend it to people that don't drink wine and they like, oh, I like sweet wine, and I'm like, well, try this, and they drink it and they're like, oh my god, this is so good. I'm like, yeah, it's way better than like the cheap, horrible Moscato. Like it's really good
high quality. It's I think it's well made. They've been doing it for a long time. I like Bracchetto. Marco, does that give you a little bit more street cred if I say Bracchetto?
Yes.
Red sparklers are very underrated.
Well, then go for Lambrusco.
I love Lambrusco. I just got a box right now. World Lambrusco Day was yesterday. I got a huge box of Cletto Chiarli next to me. All the high end stuff, from the basic is like $15, which I like, all the way to their high end wine's like $21 for their high end wine. I don't know. Anybody else here at Lambrusco? I guess we can, because Lambrusco de Saburada can have that rosé like color. So I guess we're on the theme. Anybody else drinking Lambrusco? Because Chris is an Italian wine guy. Alex, you're shaking your head. No.
You know why? You know why I'm shaking my head? In Germany, if you order pizza, from some delivery companies, and and usually from some amount they put one bottle Lambrusco or something as a gift, and they have really like, I don't know, the bad quality wine. And so I don't know, it's in, you know,
It's in your head that like Brusco's
yeah,
gonna be
it's my
crappy
head,
wine.
because they
But-
use, I don't know, maybe like from the supermarket, like €2 wine they put in as a gift. So
I'm so sad that you're feeling that way about Lambrusco, because Lambrusco can be so awesome.
okay.
I think it could be so. Chris, are you like, you're an Italian wine guy? Are you?
Yeah, I
a-
like one. I like it. I don't drink it a lot, but yeah. I had a, speaking of which, Rosé Lambrusco. I think it's called Line 910. Like they make they make one that's pretty good. Like, no.
So for here for because I want to we're gonna jump ahead a little bit because we're I think some of the people are roséed out. So next month's my birthday. Next month I'm turning the big 4-3. So the next live call, I don't know what the theme is. I'm gonna open something really nice, and I'm gonna drink a lot of it on camera. I think the theme. I hate to make this sound so narcissistic, but I guess this is good. I think the theme is, what would you, something that you would bring to give to a wine geek, or for me, for like my birthday, like another wine geek. Doesn't mean it has to be expensive, because we're us wine geeks. We like we like the crazy stuff. Like Alex, like you were just talking to private chat. I would, if somebody gave me a bottle of Ruzica from Serbia, I would be all about. That would be awesome. So that, I think it's gonna be. Let's get into this. And when you have wine friends, are you bringing them expensive stuff, or are you bringing them trying to find them the geekiest stuff possible? What kind of stuff are you guys bringing?
I just try to find something good that I love, whether it's more on the value side or if it's like more of a benchmark type wine. Just something that's something that I am passionate about.
I generally bring something aged, so a vintage.
Mhm.
So I mean, it doesn't have to be like I mean, generally aged wine, vintage wines are a bit more expensive, but doesn't have to be like a crazy expensive wine. Just
Yeah.
has to be something that tastes of, has the taste of time. So you want to,
Yeah.
give something that has 20, 25 years of bottle maturation. Can be an old port, or can be like a Madeira, or even like an old Madiran, whatever. But something that has a bit of the weight of time on the bottle, and generally people who understand wine, but also people who don't understand wine, are pretty impressed when you bring like a bottle which has like, I don't know, 35 years, even if it's not a super expensive bottle. It's generally highly valued, that that's something that has that spent so much time in someone else's end. So as a sort of more valuable gift, I think, than just a freshly released first growth Bordeaux.
Alex, Chris, what are you guys bringing to? That's a good cause. You want to bring something that's kind of special. You can't just pull off the shelf, right? You just something that maybe you have in this. Alex, Chris, what are you guys bringing for birth? That'll be the theme, birthday wines. Because next,
I bring you Plavix Molly.
oh, there we go.
Yeah.
I have plenty of Plavix Molly in my cellar, though. So, Alex, what? I know I saw one of your comments. So
Okay,
you really
it depends on the friend.
Yeah.
It could be some cheap, like I know, he doesn't have birthday, but I bring one Pro Coupats, and he was flashed.
Oh,
He say, "Wow, he need to go to Serbia to try it." He also walk in a wine shop, and he say, "This is it. This is like the next stuff." And he say, he never have so good wine from the south or southeast Europe like that. And yeah, it's depend on a friend. It could be one from New Zealand, Kumiro River or something. And last time I bring to my best friend, he moved to Switzerland as a gift. It's from the Aare. Pinot.
Mm.
And this is producer. I don't know, maybe you know him, J.J. Adenauer.
Yep.
And he have one, and I enjoy the wines. And I tried. I've been there like two months ago, and I tried wines, and suddenly I see on the list a Grand Reserve, and it was the most high price. And I asked, what is this? I don't know, because usually I know all of the wines. And then they told me, yeah, they have one. They bought one new plot, and after the flood, they need to the grape. They need to put away all and plant new. But he was able to make 800 bottles, and I tried this, and it was one of the best Pinot in Germany I ever had. And then and of course I bought also my best friend one, and then I bring to him, and he was quite surprised. And yeah, something like that.
Well, so it's actually, I've changed this. I've seen some of the chats. Some people say champagnes. The theme will be birthday wines. It's not to give to me. It's what would you want to open on your birthday, and it doesn't have to be something expensive. I think we'll spend a little more time on the call, because I think we'll all have some wines that we want to talk about and share. I even have something. I'm looking back at my cellar here, some things, because a lot of times I'm like, I'm never going to open these wines, or like I'm looking for people. I think I'll pull something that's not ridiculous expensive, because I don't collect ridiculous expensive wines. I collect geeky wines. And I think I have a couple of ideas. Something that's I have one I've been waiting on for a long time, and I had to have the right person to open it. But this group was probably the right group to open it with. So that's going to be the theme. Something that you would open for your birthday. Doesn't have to be like expensive. If you just want to drink if Kenny wants to drink a Vietti Moscato d'Asti on his birthday, I'm not going to hate on it at all. That will be the fun thing. Does anybody else have a summer birthday here?
Nope.
I mean, I'm August if you count it.
Yeah, it's summer. It's a summer birthday. So okay, we could do some birthday wines. Last thoughts on rosé. So we did this call. Not everybody's convinced on rosé, except Kenny maybe now. Kind of give me your last thoughts on rosé. What mine's changed, not changed? You're gonna drink more of it. You didn't. You realize that you're not gonna go back to it. What are your thoughts here? Let's start down the line, Kenny. Kenny's muted. You're muted. Let's go with Marco first. Go with Marco, and then we'll go to Kenny. Kind of thoughts on rosé.
Yeah, I think you did it. This call did it. I'll drink more rosé.
Are you serious? Are you serious? Or are you joking? No, are you
Yeah,
joking?
I need to find more rosés that are worthwhile. It's not easy here in Malta, but when you start to think about it, makes sense. And especially now with the food that we have in summer, fish, like pink peppercorns, these things you put on the plate really pops up. Yeah, I'll definitely try a bit more rosés. It was a weak spot for me, but this call did it. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Okay. Well, so the cool, like, okay. Well, especially the cool thing is we're not breaking the bank. We can try a bunch of rosés, and we're not hurting. Kenny, are you back on? You got audio? Kind of final thoughts on rosé? Or I think Kenny froze completely. Okay,
Yeah.
Let's go to Alex.
Okay. With the orange wine, I was really convinced to try more. With the rosé today, I say I stick at the same amount, and I stick also to the off-dry rosé from Anjou. I just enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good to have something besides the off-dries from the Riesling, but I definitely like to try the Tatam Tampier.
Message, because you're really good at comments. Sometimes if you do get a hold of it, you taste it, even if it's not relevant, just leave a comment and just say whatever. So say, I tried the Tempe, I liked it or I didn't like it. Or maybe you say it's overpriced. You're completely wrong. Kenny, well, before we go to Chris, are you back? Is your audio back on? You froze for a sec. What's kind of final thoughts on rosé? Oh, we still don't hear Kenny. Oh, poor I don't hear you. I don't have you muted either. Let's go down to Chris real quick. See if you can play around with it and just snap your fingers. Chris, kind of final thoughts on Rosé? What's
Man, I think it's good for I mean, like you said, I was shocked to find out how like that's how you test a winemakers by Rosé. I mean, so then yeah, I guess I'll have to give it more of a try to see,
but you're not buying it normally, I'm right?
Not really. Unless it would probably be sparkling wine,
Okay.
and yeah.
Kenny, are you on yet? Are you kind of have some thoughts on Rosé since you actually like the wine you actually like the wine? Oh, we don't have Kenny. That's okay. That's okay. Well, I'll speak for you. For you, it was really good for you to get excited and about a wine that you brought on the call. That's what I really enjoyed. So that is the cool thing. Yeah, we will next month is birthday wines. I just have to go a few minutes earlier than normal because I have to get to the shop. I felt bad because I had to cover some shifts. But next month I have to do the 4th week because on the 3rd week I'm traveling in Canada for a Chardonnay festival, a Cool Climate Chardonnay conference. So it'll be the 27th, 3:00, the same time. The next couple of months, my travel schedule gets insane starting August, but this is a priority for me. But we'll just have to be a little bit flexible with me because I'm even going to Ukraine to judge a wine competition in Ukraine. So, oh wait, what are you pointing to, Marco? What are you pointing to?
The Ukrainian fighter.
Oh, that's what I thought. That's what I was wondering what that was. That's a painting. That's a nice painting.
Yeah, it's a painting of a famous Ukrainian painter. Probably the most famous Ukrainian painter alive, and it's Ukrainian fighter of Azovstal.
Wow. So yeah, I'm excited. The organizer said, "Are you scared?" And I said, "No, I'm not scared. I've lived in dangerous places. You know, I've been to. I want to see it with my own eyes. I want to go. I want to taste the wines. To me, it's an adventure. And I'm excited. What's that?
Which town is it? Or
Kyiv.
Kyiv.
In Kyiv? Okay.
Yeah. Gotta fly to Poland and take a bus because you can't fly to Kyiv. So I'm pretty excited about that, guys. Yeah, thanks for giving me a little grace on this call because like I said, I'm gonna have to get back. But 27th, mark it on your calendar. Birthday wines, and it's not for me; it's for all of us. Like, what did you want to open on what kind of stuff would you want to open on your birthday? You don't have to break the bank. You don't have to bust your cellar out. But I think I'm going to open something that's super enjoyable. And thank you. I'm going to actually keep this video, one of the few videos I'm going to keep live and public so people can see you guys and see what we're doing here. Again, thank you for the Grand Reserve members. I really appreciate you guys and gals. There are some gals that don't like to be on the call, but it's all good. Thank you so much. And let's say Rosé all day for some of us. Maybe for Marco, Kenny, and Chris, not so much for Alex. And I'll talk to you guys soon.
Thank you.